the market situation and the problematics that it is going to address, as well as the value that it has to bring to gamers, to fans of esports, and to game developers and publishers. And then we're going to go through the registration process in the Token Foundry tool. So, first of all, a little scope on the gaming market in 2018, which is growing, especially in the mobile sphere, and the PC and console stays strong. And one of the main monetization method for all the game publishers are cosmetic items, such as skins. And this is exactly the market that is interesting for us, because not only are the skins one of the major revenue sources for some publishers, they are also very, very interesting for esports fans who are ready to spend a lot of money on some items that were previously played and owned by big esports stars. And how can I be sure when I buy something digital that my item was really used by an esports star? How I can be sure that I'm owning this item? This, before blockchain, was a big topic. And one of the answers that blockchain is bringing is the ownership, the true ownership, and the digital scarcity of the items. On the picture, you can see one of the skin. Maybe you already saw this in an article. This skin was bought in 2018 for $61,000 because it was the property of the Cloud9 player who won the E-League, the Boston E-League. Many of us know about blockchain. We read articles on the internet. We know how it works in the big lines, but just a crash course for those who are not so familiar about non-fungible tokens. So fungibility is the fact that you can exchange a good against another good which is identical. So bottles of water, a kilogram of sugar, or maybe $1 against another dollar. But on the blockchain, we have so-called non-fungible tokens, which are not like Bitcoin or Ether, which can be exchanged against each other. These tokens are unique. And the equivalent in the real world would be a painting, for example, of Picasso, or a jersey signed by a famous football player. And what does distinguish a unique non-fungible token from a fungible token? So here we have a look at ERC 721 standard on the Ethereum blockchain. And this token has a token ID, which means that every one of this token is unique. It has its own identity. And we know information about the owner. We know information about the creator, the creation date. And there is one field which is particularly interesting. It's called metadata, and it can allow us to add pretty much all the kind of information inside, such as the history of the token, such as any useful information. And compared to what I said on the previous slide, that's kind of an interesting add-on, because why don't we use non-fungible tokens to associate with in-game items that have unique history and proven ownership? So that's exactly what GamerToken is about, and that's exactly what most of the blockchain gaming so far is about. It's creating something unique and managing something unique in-game. So the main goal of GamerToken is to bring a tool which is simple to use for any established game developer to create and launch, manage, and trade unique in-game assets such as skins. The unique assets have a proven scarcity, which means that I can have only 20 of them or only 1,000 of this specific model, or they can be even totally unique, meaning one only model. They have information about the previous owner, about the history, about the, let's say, the type of item that it is. And the main goal is to associate this token with cosmetic items, with skins, with special characters, with special editions, with some card backs on the trading card games, or with some other items that are used in the game. There is the main, let's say, the main goal, which is to associate them with cosmetic only items that have no stats. But it's every publisher and every developer, it's every publisher's and developer's freedom to choose if they want to associate stats with them or not. One thing is sure is that in-game economies are quite a delicate thing, and that's why we would like to build something on top by providing a tool for cosmetic items only. Our slogan when you go on our website is play, earn, trade. So when you're a gamer, you play your favorite games, you have the possibility to earn rewards for your time spent in game, and you can earn rewards in cryptocurrency or in non-fungible items. And then you can trade your non-fungible items with the cryptocurrency, which is called GTX. Here is a little summary of our ecosystem. So we have a global marketplace, which is central to the GamerToken ecosystem. We have the API that allows all game publishers to connect in a simple way and without knowing all the details of the blockchain, to connect to the marketplace and to transform some of their in-game items into unique items. We call that to tokenize the items. And they can tokenize their items without having a deep knowledge of the blockchain, because GamerToken server manage the part which is related to the blockchain, the non-fungible tokens, and the cryptocurrency that allows to exchange this item. The developers, they have a game to manage, they have a design of item to manage, and they just use the functionality to add this little add-on in their ecosystem. Where it is interesting is that so-called blockchain-based gaming is not that old. So first games were appearing only last year when the ERC-721 on Ethereum was invented. But so far, the games that are based on the blockchain were mainly about collecting items with not so much use and not so much gameplay around that. And we were recently at the conference, and it seems that many game developers agree that blockchain adoption comes through games that are traditional, that are established, adopting some blockchain mechanics to use on items that have a use in the gameplay, and not only something very niche, something for collectors. So we are very excited to take this step, and it will be even more interesting for game developers to see some other functionality that GamerToken is offering. As we saw, the gamers that own very rare and unique in-game items are interested in using them and on selling them on the marketplace. But not only selling is possible, because Ethereum blockchain is run with smart contracts, and the smart contracts allow to set up transactions, which are not only about selling, but also about renting in-game items. Why renting? And why is it interesting? Because we are managing some very rare in-game items that are scarce. Let's imagine we have only 100 special swords in a game which has 1 million active users. Not everyone can have them, and these items would be extremely valuable. So if you're buying the item for the equivalent of 1,000 or 2,000 US dollars, you can also rent it to your friends or to anyone on the marketplace, and this way basically gain revenue from your investment, which is the item. Or you can also allow other players to use it, and maybe you can resell it later, or maybe you can keep it in your collection. There is also one way to find the right price at which selling your item, which is the auction house. It's an auction house with increasing prices, with a start price and with all the people bidding in GTX, and the most, let's say, the highest price, of course, wins the transaction and buys the item. This is also managed using smart contracts on Ethereum blockchain. One thing about which some of us are thinking, and I was thinking about it too, is when we were kids and when we were teenagers, we were playing games. We were counting, like, let's say we're spending countless hours in these games. I, for example, played Halo, Warcraft 3, Unreal Tournament, and sometimes we're wishing, okay, what if we could keep these characters? What if we could keep these special skins that we're using and basically have memorabilia, have a legacy of our previous gaming? This is also one of the goals of GamerToken, is to provide some digital memorabilia for all these items. So everything which is not sold, everything which is not rented at the moment can be stored on your digital shelf. And you would have several items from several games being there that you can then show to your friends proudly and say, hey, it was hard, but I earned it. So regarding the items, there are two other very interesting features. The designer's corner is the possibility for gamers to design their own skin or their own item. When it comes to a skin, it's more a 2D design that the player can customize. When it comes to 3D, it's a little bit more complex and it involves a tool that the users can easily masterize. But the possibility that comes with it is to tokenize your item. And the right to tokenize the item can be provided by the game developer or for free in a limited quantities or against a fee. So you are a gamer, you have the right to tokenize one item and you design this item, which then becomes your propriety and your ownership. So this item will have, of course, a digital scarcity because it will be unique, but you will also have a proven ownership because the gamer who designs it is the owner. And one fourth very important and very innovative feature is the possibility for game developers to crowdfund proposals. Community is more and more important in the gaming sphere, and we see it much increasing over the last years. Community is sometimes very demanding and sometimes very rewarding. And it's very important to engage the community. So one feature that GamerToken Marketplace has is the ability for the gamers to stake their tokens. They have a certain amount of GTX. And if some of them propose, I would really like this new skin that allows you to play as a dragon. And then the publisher says, yes, okay, but you have to assemble, you have to stake enough tokens for us to basically finance this design, to crowdfund it. And the players say, okay, they start to stake the tokens, and if the amount is reached, then the tokens go to the developer and the skin is created and all the participants get rewarded by having some copies of it. If the sum is not reached, the token goes back. So this is a Kickstarter-like feature for the games. And we think that gaming in the future will be decided not only in game developers' offices around tables, but also on communities, on forums, on social apps, and via a dialogue between gamers and developers. And what we are doing is giving tools to encourage this dialogue. So we speak a lot about the marketplace, and here is a little view of how it looks like. It has items from several games. It has items that you can buy, that you can choose, that you can search for. And what I can propose you is just let's have a look on how it looks like. So I'm going to go. So normally here we see the wallets. I just went on the GamerToken website and I just connected to my wallet, and we see here there are already a lot of transactions because I was very active. I have my balance in terms of GamerToken. I have the button to join Telegram. So I propose you, if you're not yet in the Telegram group, that's quite a useful channel. There are a lot of questions, a lot of answers, and it's a fun place, let's say. We have amazing community managers, so I would recommend you to join. Yeah, just click here. Here we can get GTX. So let's see if I did it already today, but every day you can get some demo GTX. So I already charged it today. I cannot do it twice, but if you do it the first time during the day, it will be charged. And here is my balance of GTX. So let's then have a look at my items. I already bought a couple of stuff, and mostly Fiesta. Why Fiesta? Because this is the demo game and this is available. So I can buy some more Fiesta items and either send it to my game or try to resell it on the marketplace. So here are the items. Here's the marketplace. As you can see, there are several items from several games. What I'm really interested in is a GamerToken-like skin. So let's see if I can afford one. So this is 300 GTX. I can probably afford this skin, or I can buy this Super Tempo Storm chest tracksuit. And I already have the pants. So let's see if I can get, yeah, they're all 500 GTX. So I'm just gonna buy one. Here I'm buying one, and it takes a couple of seconds until the transaction appears on the blockchain. But if I just refresh after 15 seconds, I will see it there. And what I can propose is, if you guys are also trying the marketplace, maybe I can just put it up for rent, and you can benefit from that and have it, just try it for less than 500 GTX. What do you think about that? So I will offer the item for rental. Here, how many days? Just 2 days, because I want this to rotate fast. And as it's a good day, guys, I'm gonna give it for you. I'm gonna give it to you for 50 GTX. Here we'll have some gas fee because it's linked to the Ethereum blockchain. And here I'm gonna offer the item for rent. And here we go. So the item is, there is a little planet here. That means my item is offered on the marketplace. And if you go back to the marketplace, yeah, so you can see here it's for 50 GTX, but it's only for 7 days. Here we go. Yeah, for 2 days. Sorry, for 2 days. Yeah, because 50 for 7 days would have been very inexpensive. What else can I do with my items? I can send them into the game. So here you can enter a character name if you already have the Fiesta Online game, and then you can transfer it and you can play with it. Okay, if you have some questions about the marketplace, please feel free to fill in, to enter them in the question chat. Now we get back to our presentation. I told a lot about the benefits for gamers. What are other benefits? So the security and usability of valuable items is enhanced. What does it mean? That means that your item is not only on one game server, but it is on the blockchain. And that means that even if a game stops to exist, you are still owning the item itself. You cannot use it anymore, but you can own it. And the blockchain allows game developers to offer you another item on the same token in another game. So here we are speaking about one token which reflects one item in one game and another item in another game. So we are speaking about an interoperability, which is possible for one publisher if he has several games in his ecosystem, but also if several game publishers agree, they can also make the items compatible between several games. We have the true ownership, and we have esports memorabilia. So esports memorabilia, we will go back to it a little bit later. But basically, yeah, esports is a very important application of GamerToken. We can trade items from different games on the marketplace. We just saw it while going on the marketplace. And also, players can earn tokens for completing quests and leaderboard rankings. So what is it about? Basically, if you are a gamer and you are an engaged gamer, you can earn rewards for your efforts spent into the game. And we're gonna go back to it a couple of slides later. But here, what you see is the ecosystem for the game developers and publishers. The marketplace demo, we just saw it. The game developer API, I spoke about it at the beginning. It is the way to connect to the marketplace and the way for any game to tokenize some of their items. But there is another part which is very important. It's the items for esports and streamers. And that was the topic on our intro. If you see these items, they are branded with some logo. And maybe you recognize this logo, maybe not, but here we come. Tempo Storm. So Tempo Storm is one of the first esports partners of GamerToken. This is a team which was founded in 2014 by Andrei Renard-Yanyuk, who is CEO of Tempo Storm and who also launched a game called The Bazaar. The Bazaar is a trading card game, and it's not a surprise because the team started as a Hearthstone team and now covering many sports like Fortnite, PUBG, Counter-Strike, WoW, Hearthstone, of course, still. And they have more than 30 streamers. And we're very, very proud to partner with them because they are famous in the US. We already have some items in Fiesta Online that are branded Tempo Storm, and that was very fast to implement because 1.5 days after the partnership, we already had the items on the marketplace. I just bought one, so you can try them in the game. And what the CEO, Reynard, said is that esports genre is taking a next step towards other professional leagues because of the creation of this esports memorabilia market. So I have a friend who recently bought an NBA ball signed by Michael Jordan. And of course, it's a very expensive item. It's a very rare item. And more as esports is taking the lead on regular sports, the esport memorabilia will be a topic and a very big topic. And there is a big advantage also. It's that any digital item, you can use it in a game without, let's say, without damaging it. So, and you can also collect it and it will gain a lot of value. So this is something that we're really looking forward to. And this is something that is really attractive for any game developers that join the ecosystem. How it works is Tempo Storm is branding items, in the partner games. The partner games items are tradable on the marketplace, and the streamers of Tempo Storm are also from time to time speaking about the games that partner with GamerToken. So it's a freeway partnership. It's a very nice use case, and this is a use case which is one of our unique, selling points, because there are some marketplaces. The ecosystem is, has several different actors in it, but we are the ones who are pushing for the esports and the partnerships with influencers and with streamers, because it's as well as the community, it is an essential element in the gaming ecosystem. Well, I didn't launch the demo yet, but you can see a couple of images of skins used in the game. So once you buy or once you rent this shirt, you can use it in a game and it will look like that on your character. There is the male version and a female version, and you can really play around with it and run with it and dance with it. I mean, it's really fun to play with these characters. And also while while downloading the game and creating your first character and completing also the daily quests, you will receive some GTX. A GTX, which is a transactional currency that you can use and that can be, that can complete your wallet. So you will see some message boxes like that, and you will get some GTX for achieving quests in the game. Now it's getting a little bit further, because besides achieving some daily quests or passing some levels, if the game is very competitive, like here an example for a racing game, the top players on the leaderboard can win something more valuable. So they can win, for example, a non-fungible item. Here you can see a skin of a car with the Tempo Storm logo. Here you can see also another car with another skin, and the third place gets 20,000 GTX. So prices can be with the GTX or with non-fungible items. And we think that a non-fungible item, because it is unique, it's a very good way to reward the player, because in the item history, in the metadata, the developer can write, this was earned for winning the tournament. So that makes us say that for marketing campaigns, having non-fungible items can bring a lot of advantages, because at the moment, this is not a standard. This is still very innovative, and this is still something that has been only tested. It's already operational, it's already in place, but it's not yet massively used. So this is the innovation is something that the gamers are looking forward to. And when you are partnering with influencers to bring some videos about your game, it is a nice giveaway for the game developers to the community of the influencer and to the influencers themselves. So it engages community and it increases the ROI of a campaign, because all innovative marketing methods increase the ROI of the campaigns. So users will have more interaction and will have more, let's say, affinity when they know that they can earn something valuable there. It also builds value because it rewards the fans and it rewards the gamers for their time spent in game, and it opens new opportunities. For example, if you have physical merchandise, you can associate and make the non-fungible digital items redeemable for physical merchandise. So the benefits for the developers and the publishers, as we mentioned, the developers and publishers will get new streams of revenue from item sales, and not only for selling the item the first time, but for the secondary market. Leveraging the secondary market is important because it's something that the gamer is bringing with him. He resells it, and the developer gets a small portion of the proceeds. And it also makes it cleaner, and let's say, and it also rewards the developer for that, because at the moment there is quite some black market, quite some fraud, in which neither the user nor the game developer are really interested. So now it's the way to, so to say, make the developers friends again with the second-hand market. It's a way for the developers to make tailor-made rewards in a larger ecosystem than just one game. The rewards can be reflected in several games. The rewards can be redeemable against merchandise, or the rewards can be collected and exist outside of the game in the gamer's collection. It allows the developers to integrate the game in a larger ecosystem, which is composed of several games, and he can benefit from this ecosystem. And the infrastructure items, when it comes to the non-fungible ones, is enhanced and improved. These are the main advantages, and this is the end of the presentation. But I will just speak a little bit about the partners and some companies that are very important for GamerToken and that are helping GamerToken with the launch of the platform. We are backed by Consensus, which is founded by Joseph Lubin, the co-founder of Ethereum. So we are pretty much using the full potential of the Ethereum blockchain, and also recently joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, among other companies which are not only on the gaming industry, but also banks, insurance, healthcare companies, several companies in several industries. They're just getting together and sharing the best practices when it comes to fungible, non-fungible tokens of Ethereum. Token Foundry is the partner that helps us to design the token economics, to manage the token sale, to manage some marketing topics, and to keep, let's say, a quality work every day by launching the product. And among the projects, GamerToken is the only one around gaming. So we are really proud to be part of this selection, especially when it's a very, very curated selection. There are many applicants. Also, Tempo Storm, as I mentioned, is a very valuable partner at this stage, and there will be some partners announced soon. So stay tuned in the next weeks. And one of the main channels to read on our site is, of course, the Telegram group and the Medium blogs. And Gamigo Group, of course, which is an established game publishers. I can remind or precise that Fiesta is around 10 years old game, which was not planned initially for the blockchain, but it's a very nice test that we did, and the game is working good with this little add-on that brings more, let's say, spicy content for the gamers. And this is, it's like the credits at the end of the movie. This is the team of GamerToken, and this is the advisors of GamerToken. So the info is available on the website. So I'm now giving the microphone to Brady for the Token Foundry registration process. And if you have questions, please submit them. We'll make a Q&A session at the end. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Yuri. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen now. So as Yuri mentioned, the shared window.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to go over the Token Foundry registration process a little bit. So again, we're going to be taking questions throughout the presentation. If you have questions about GamerToken or questions about the Token Foundry registration process, we'll take them all at the end. So keep submitting those. We have a couple good questions already, so keep them coming. So as Yuri mentioned, we're doing the sale through Token Foundry. Token Foundry is a global platform for everyone to buy safely vetted tokens. Our team is coming from a range of industries: financial services, banking, enterprise technology, competing blockchain firms, consulting companies. And what we do is a purchase token process that involves both the Know Your Customer, or KYC, as well as anti-money laundering, or AML, verification for both of those. And then on top of that, we add one more step that is basically a questionnaire to ensure that you have a understanding of what the token is and how the platform and how to use the token in the platform. The process is meant to be thorough, but it's not meant to be intimidating. So I'm going to take just 10 minutes to go through the process here. All right. So step one, you'll just create an account. The big question here is whether you are an individual or a business. If you're a business, just keep in mind that you will need to supply your EIN number as a part of the verification process. So have that handy. And then when you're creating a password, we gave you a couple hints on how to create a safe password, but make sure that you are using a unique and secure password here. Go ahead and read the privacy policy, terms of use, and then we will jump to the next step. We will send you a quick verification email. It does arrive very quickly. So if you don't see it, make sure you check your spam folder, and then whitelist emails from hello@tokenfoundry.com to make sure that you continue to receive emails from us about your KYC approval, as well as upcoming sale and registration dates. Welcome to Token Foundry. Congratulations. You're in. You verified your email address. There's a couple screens here that go over in a little bit more detail what tokens on the Token Foundry platform are going to look like. Make sure to read through these. They are a good background on what the quiz that you're about to start taking will include. So once you've taken a moment to review these, just click this Start Questionnaire button, and we'll dive right in. So now I can't give you the actual answers to the quiz. However, I just want to go over what it'll look like. It's going to be some questions about your understanding of utility tokens, how the Ethereum blockchain works, and how to make sure that your assets are being stored securely. So we've got a combination of single and multiple choice. We have a matrix question down here that we have anonymized with lorem ipsum text. So you'll have to go through the registration process to see what this really says. But rest assured, it's not overly difficult. It's just meant to make sure that you have a good understanding of what a utility token looks like and how it's going to behave. One thing to note is if you do not pass this test, you do have the ability to retake it after 24 hours. So not to fear, give your best shot, and all things, if everything goes well, we'll see you on this screen right here. Next, so you've confirmed your email, you've passed the assessment test, and now you have the ability to register for tokens. However, we still have this red X over on verified, so you won't be able to purchase until we have verified your account, verified your ID. So rather than going through the registration process for GamerToken, I'm going to take a quick detour and we'll verify our ID. So here we just have to ask a few more questions of you about your name, your date of birth, your address, and for these, the data here, make sure that it is going to match the ID that you're about to upload. So just quickly fill this out, click continue, and we'll be in part 2. You'll need to either take a photo or upload a previously taken photo of your government-issued ID. Now that can either be a driver's license or a passport. If it's a driver's license, usually you're going to need to show us both sides. If it's the passport, it's just that one main page. Once you have uploaded your image, whether it's a JPEG here, we'll just go over and we'll take the selfie. All right, when you're uploading your selfie, we put together this little handy silhouette that you should align your face with. Don't be looking off to the side like Nate over here. Be looking right at the camera like Nate on the right. Once you've aligned yourself with the silhouette, click Take Photo, and then we will, that will be uploaded to your profile. You'll get an email that says your KYC is pending. The KYC process generally takes about 30 minutes, but if we have a high volume of inquiries coming in, it can be up to 24 hours. So if you don't hear back from us immediately, no need to worry, but once we have verified your ID, the image on your selfie matches the image on your ID. We'll send you this middle email that says your registration is complete, you're verified, and then your account page will look like this in the bottom right corner, 3 green check marks, and you're all ready to register for particular token sales. For today, what we're going to go through is how to register for GamerToken. So registration is open right now. The sale is going to go live on the 27th of September, so you have a little bit of time to complete your registration, create your account with Token Foundry, tell all your friends to create their accounts, and there's 2 places on the Token Foundry website where you can register for tokens. The first is going to be on the GamerToken project page, which is this screenshot on the left. The other is right from your account. So you can see right now we have a platform for GamerToken, and Civil is also live, so you can register or update your token allocations from there as well. When you click on register, there's going to be 3 screens. The first is a little high level in terms of what the process will entail. Next, we're going to go through the terms and conditions for the GamerToken sale specifically. This is going to include some details around the proof of use and some other specifics of how GamerToken's GTX token will work on the blockchain. So make sure you read through this, agree to the terms and conditions, and then you'll be able to continue. Up next, the last screen before you start your quiz is going to be just verifying that you understand that this is a utility token, and it's meant to be used in the GamerToken marketplace for staking, for purchasing items, for renting items, all those functionalities that Yuri went over earlier in the webinar. Once you affirm that you understand and intend to use the tokens in the proper way, we'll jump into the quiz. So again, sorry, I can't give you the answers, but if you are reading the Medium blogs that GamerToken is putting out and familiar with how Token Foundry is set up, and played a game of your own from time to time, you should do just fine. And again, if you don't pass the quiz the first try, you will be able to try again after 24 hours. So go ahead, give it your best shot. And I believe in all of you, and we'll be seeing these 3 screens next. So these give you some details before you commit to the amount of tokens that you'll be registering for. The token will be locked until launch. Then there's also a little information around proof of use, and then the initial use only period. These are going to be different for each token sale. For GamerToken, the tokens are locked until the mainnet launch, which is anticipated in November. So just keep that in mind. And then we will go to the final screen of the whole registration process. Here's where you determine how many tokens you'd like to purchase in basically increments of US dollars. So if you want to submit, if you want to contribute up from 5 to 1.5 million, you just input it here, and then we'll go through the approval process. If you contribute anything up to 9,999, you'll be approved for purchase when the sale goes live on the 27th. For larger contributors, you just have to, you'll basically be prompted to provide a little more information about why you're looking to purchase a larger quantity. We just want to know that you're contributing for a reason that's going to be in alignment with the utility token model. So we're pretty quick at turning around those approvals. So just give us a little extra note. And then you are done. Your registration is successful. It's really as simple as that. So there's 2 quizzes if you're a brand new member for Token Foundry. If you have previously registered and set yourself up with an account and gone through the AML and KYC, you'll just have to take the specific GamerToken quiz. So the process might be shorter than this, but this is absolutely the longest that it will ever be. So I hope that cleared things up a little bit. If you have any other questions, please continue to submit them, whether it's about the GamerToken or about Token Foundry's registration process. I am going to get out of, how do I get out of full screen? And then we'll dive into some Q&A. So again, we're gonna have Yuri come back and answer some questions. We're gonna have Nada and Mark from the GamerToken team as well. Some quick links for you. The GamerToken website is gamertoken.io. Their Twitter is gtokenofficial, and Telegram is again on is t.me/gamertoken. All right, so let's see. Here's Mark. So we have a question from Peter, and then so the question is, are all items on the marketplace limited editions? Who and how are items created and uploaded into the marketplace? Can designers increase edition numbers of their items? So we have 3 questions. So first, are all items on the marketplace limited editions?
Hey guys, first up, thank you very much for tuning in and for listening to Yuri's wonderful presentation. For Peter's question, are all items on marketplace limited editions? The answer is yes. Anything based on the ERC 721 protocol intrinsically is unique. It is non-fungible. So as you saw before, there were multiple versions of maybe it was the same item, but the metadata attached to these items is what matters. So every single one is different, and we can attach different things to these, but every single item has provenance, has history, and we can trace that exact item's history back as far as until it was created. So that's the beauty of the ERC 721 protocol in that case.
All right, cool. So the next is, can designers increase edition numbers of their items? I want to circle back to this one because I think it's kind of an interesting question, or an interesting answer. So,
well, they could release a second run, but it's still the second run. We have the amount of items that are there from the first run, and once again, with that history, they're all proven. There's no way that we can change that. That has been secured on the blockchain, on the Ethereum network. It is secured, and this history is immutable. So there is no way that they could create another amount of the same run. They could do a second release, but everyone will know that that is a second release. So whether or not, that changes the value, it's a different story. But, the people who own that first release, well, they're the lucky owners of the first release.
Yeah, you'll never be able to get the first run after the first run is out.
Yeah, that's it.
So how are items created and uploaded onto the marketplace?
So one of the things we focused on from the start, and given that the history of a lot of the people working with us from the game development industry, from the publishing industry, it's really important that we make it as frictionless as possible, that we can connect with the developers and the publishers to ensure that they can get integrated onto the blockchain as simply as possible. So what we did is we created a universal API that is working to interface the devs and the publishers with the blockchain, so they can create items at their discretion and they can put them straight onto the blockchain without having to worry about all the other side that comes from blockchain development, because that's what we're focusing on. So we knew that the only way to really get larger devs and traditional devs, like Yuri said, on board was by making it as simple as possible for them using our API.
All right, cool. Who controls the exchange rate for GamerToken?
So there's a few things we need to unpack here, and it mostly begins with the Token Foundry's proof of use, which is really important because if we are bringing people into the environment, into the ecosystem who are not there to use, it's almost reaches a point of why bother. We want this ecosystem to be used. We want this ecosystem to be something that is contributing to gaming as a whole. So if we take this this proof of use situation, well, tokens that are purchased after mainnet launch, they will be locked into the platform for a minimum of 3 months. Now, during that time, we're going to be seeding the market with items for various games, the tokens, and they will not be listed on any other exchanges. So we're going to be helping devs put items in there to give volatility to the market, etc. And then after the initial proof of use period is over, that 3 months, everyone who has proven their use can then transfer their tokens outside of the ecosystem. So I hope that answers your question there, Peter.
Cool, yeah. So here's just sort of a fun one from me. What are you going to buy first? Are you going to buy a skin? Are you going to buy a unique item?
I am loading up on Tempo Storm stuff. Whatever comes out first, I'm going for that. They gamed the bazaar. We've been talking in our Telegram chat quite a lot with some of our members, and there's a bit of excitement around the bazaar. Now they're releasing, hopefully, early access March 2019. Really excited for it because I love this deck building collectible kind of game, which is perfectly suited. So I've got a feeling I'm a bit of a market cornerer that when it happens, anything branded Tempo Storm is going to go through the roof. So that's kind of my plan. Maybe a little bit entrepreneurial. Maybe I just gave away my plan. I shouldn't have done that. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be the right way to get started on the network.
Okay, cool. And just a reminder, you guys can keep submitting questions. And up next, we have one from Lucas. It says, do you have any plans to approach large publishers like Valve or Blizzard? I think some of the highest revenue generating marketplaces could be seriously improved.
I agree, 100%. I was actually just on Steam yesterday doing a bit of a LAN party with some friends, and it was a nightmare. There was just no way we could connect. There was no way we had to join together, and it was a mess. And this has been operating. I've been a member since 14 years ago. I just got my badge for it, and it is just old and outdated. And there is just a lot of things that are not working. So what we want to do is not only innovate, but improve on what's there. So if we can take something like Steam and work to improve it, work to build in these new technologies, but as well, look at the issues that are there. And I'm not saying it's the worst thing on the planet. I love Steam, like I said, 14 years, but there's a lot of ways that we can tackle this, and there are a lot of ways that we can improve upon this. So I think when we look at that, then yes, there's a lot that can be improved. Now, with approaching large developers, I mean, these guys are huge. It's what we're doing. We're actually talking to a lot of devs and a lot of publishers that are big. And not only that, we're approaching a lot of the smaller guys as well, because when it comes back to innovation, it's these indie teams that are really pushing the boundaries. We can look at 1,000 Battle Royale games, which personally I love, but the point is that when you look to the indie scene, these are the guys that are creating the next round of Battle Royales. once again, using that as an example, where did it come from? It came from a mod back in the day, from 5 to 6 years ago, from DayZ. So there's a ton of ways that we can approach these guys, and I think a lot of these companies will remember their roots. And when you get to a point where you are trying to, maybe conserve revenues and make sure that everything is stable, we have to start looking around and opening up where we approach and who we approach, because we need to find a nice balance to get everyone included. If we start excluding the smaller guys or the bigger guys, it's not what we're after. We want everyone involved.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I'm most excited to see with GamerToken is how the developers play with items that can be used across games. If it's a single developer and they create an item for one game and then make sure that it's compatible with another game. I think that's something that's going to be really cool. All right, so keep submitting questions. We got just a couple more minutes here, and I think the next question that I want to go to is a question around let's see, how do we want to phrase this? What would you say is I don't know. Can you talk a little bit more about TempoStorm and the partnership there? What does that look like, and how have they come on board for you guys?
So we began quite a while ago, and while the focus has always been, creating non-fungibles, making sure that we can provide a space for gamers to actually own their items and for devs to increase player engagement. When we started looking to esports, that's when things got really interesting. And the immediate reaction that we got from TempoStorm and Reynard, it was just a bit of an eye-opening experience for us. And we realized that there was a lot here. And when we started looking to, look at what happened yesterday, or today, I think it was, that Ninja, super, super mega famous Twitch streamer, is now on the cover of ESPN. We start looking at these ways that it is finding its way into the mainstream, and we can be a part of that. So when we spoke to TempoStorm and they got excited, and we realized, okay, well, there's a lot here. And we started talking to other esports teams that I can't speak about currently, but when we started speaking to them, and then we would say, well, who's involved? And look, we've been talking to TempoStorm, and they're partnered with us, and they're willing to put us into their game. There's a whole bunch of ideas that start popping up around the table when they realize that there is something here, and other people are getting involved. And it's not a matter of it's a race to the first or a race to be there first, because we want to involve everyone, but it's the idea that we can increase not just gamer engagement, but audience engagement. We're looking to people who don't even play games anymore. They actually just watch people play. We went to the PUBG tournament that was in Berlin, I think 2 or 3 months ago, and it was unreal just seeing how many people were there. But the craziest thing was that everyone who was there was given a free skin that was not fungible, and the market for these skins went insane. And it's just, people want to own a piece of that history. They want to own anything they can that revolves around gaming and seeing their favorite stars there and being as close as they can, because we're kind of at the ground floor of esports, and as it gets more and more famous, more and more people will get involved. So if we get involved, it's kind of like getting involved with blockchain 5 years ago. It's the same kind of thing. And it's out there. And I think we're going to see a lot more teams jumping on board, and a lot more branding jumping on board, and a lot more companies that want to say, okay, well, what's the latest skin that we can release, but truly limited? I think that's where we're really hoping to hit home. And I think that's absolutely where we're going to hit home.
Yeah. All right. And just to wrap up, I think the one question from me is, what are the games that are going to be on the platform? So what games will there be? I know you have the Fiesta demo right now. So when we launch, what will be there? And then I'll let you take that.
So as you said, we'll have Fiesta coming up as well. We have, you put a curveball on me because I can't say anything right now, Brady.
In broad
Hey
strokes.
guys.
I'm gonna pass on to Nada as well. So let me pass on to her, and she's the boss, so she can make these decisions of what to do.
Well, what we can announce is that we will be announcing in the coming weeks basically some more esports partners on board and also upcoming games. So I would say just keep an eye on our social channels. And yeah.
You're very diplomatic.
Right.
I like it.
Okay, the answer is tune in next week.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I want to just remind everyone to follow GamerToken on Twitter, join Telegram, and as a reminder, the registration for GamerToken is live right now on the Token Foundry website. If you have any questions about how to register after watching this webinar, please reach out to us either on our Telegram or via email to hello@Token Foundry. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And as a reminder, the webinar will be archived. So if you have any friends or colleagues you want to share the presentation with, just go ahead and send them a link. We'll share that around after the presentation. So thank you to GamerToken. Thanks Yuri, Mark, and Nada. And we will talk to everyone soon on Telegram.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye all.